morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here for the last speaker of the morning. First of all, hands up. Who doesn't have enough information to make a decision? One or two? Yeah, a few hands up there. Who feels they have too much information to make a decision? Who's suffering from information overload to make a business decision? So we have a few people saying that. So you're suffering from infobesity. How does it sound? Probably up to the end of this morning's presentation, so probably suffering for a little bit of information overload, I would imagine. That's an experience that many of our clients have today, and it's mainly to do with the sheer volume of information available to them. Whether it's from social data, whether it's from big data in your own company, whether it's from all the market research that you have available to you, you have a lot of information. And your organisations aren't always tuned in to connecting that information in the most efficient way. So you might want to make a decision, but the information can't be lined up very easily to make that decision for you. And at the same time, this information overload is combined with the fact that your businesses are changing. You need to be doing things more quickly, and you need to be doing things in an agile way, where you make a decision, you try something, you come back, you need to do something again, but in a short space of time. And then finally, you're also constrained by fewer people, fewer resources, and tightening budgets as well. So it's a bit of a perfect storm. So curation is something that we've been developing and working with over the last few years to try and help address some of these challenges. So if you think about the metaphor of a museum, where maybe you've heard of museum curators who are there, what would a museum be like without a curator? It would be like a warehouse. So curators are there to create an environment and create the material, the artifacts, the artworks, and actually together they make this, they're greater than the sum of the parts. So they create something that has greater meaning than just the individual pieces put together. And that's essentially what curation in the world of information and curing obesity is all about. It's an approach to provide meaning behind all types of existing data and transforming that into consumer-centric insights that you can actually make decisions on and have an impact on your business. So rather than actually sharing with you how you do curation and the theory behind curation, I'm just going to share with you a couple of case studies with how our clients have used curation to help them make some big decisions on challenges that we're facing now. So first of all, Heineken. So you'll be familiar with Heineken, probably. They're a big global brand. They have 200 brands across 200 markets. And their main challenge was driving efficiency of brand positioning across all of those markets. So you can imagine if you've got 200 by 200, that's potentially 40,000 brand positionings they may be creating. That's not a very efficient way to go about brand positioning work. So they were looking at driving greater efficiency around brand positioning. So rather than me tell you about what they did, I'm going to share with you a video from our client, Jacobine, who commissioned this piece of work, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about it after.
I am leading the Marketing Capability Department at Heineken, and what we do is we drive, learn, share and reapply across all marketeers in the Heineken company. And what you maybe did not know is that we have 250 brands in our company and that they represent the majority of our business. So what did we do? We actually grouped our local brands in 7 communities of practice, and those communities of practice are grouped based on brands that have a consumer motivation as a linking pin. Meaning that brands from different regions and different countries come together, and what they have in common is the consumer motivation that they build their brand on. So how do we then drive, learn, share, reapply? This is where Ipsos came in. We used the Curation methodology, research the researcher, to assess all consumer motivations across the globe, grouped by community of practice. An extensive work that would not have been possible when we would have done only consumer groups. This could be possible by using the curation methodology. And it allowed us and all our marketeers to sharpen the insights that we use for our brand positioning and to improve our brand performance. This was a quick and efficient methodology to do a big piece of work.
Jacobin said they organised their marketing people around the world around communities of practice. So rather than being, working marketing teams working on big brands, small brands, in big markets, small markets, they said, you organise around the positioning of your brand. So if which is based on a consumer motivation. So if your brand is positioned around masculinity, those brands are grouped together. If your brand is positioned around optimism, then those brands are grouped together. So our task as curators was to work with the existing data that they had in the business, and also with our own curators to expand on that information and populate these communities of practice with insights around masculinity and around optimism, so that when those communities of practice came together to position their brands, they had a rich source of information to start from. So there were two things we did. One thing was to curate the information using our, working with our strategic curators across the world, and the second was to then host that on a platform where they could get insights on demand. So this is our Insight Cloud platform, which you can put these. It's very similar to Facebook for insights. So you can see there are little cards there, so you would click on those cards, find out all about masculinity, and the information in there about how to position brands against masculinity. This is an example of how they might apply that. So on the right-hand side, you'll see an insight around the roots communities of practice, which is all about tradition. So the insight is very familiar. You probably feel that, yes, brands do need to be updated, but still rooted in some kind of tradition. So this was the positioning here. And what happened was that Switzerland, when they were doing a line extension, chose to position themselves against the roots, positioning themselves against the roots communities or the roots idea. But so had Slovenia, and so had Bulgaria, and so had Serbia. And so they used that common consumer motivation as their anchor, but they actually stole with pride from each other. So you can see there that was very effective in driving efficiency in their brand positioning. The second example I'd like to share with you is one from Intel. So you'll all be familiar with Intel. Most of your laptops will have Intel inside. They're starting to move more towards business to consumer rather than just being a business-to-business company. And they were suffering from Infobesity and were looking to have something that was much more agile and easy to use. So they came to us with their vision of how they wanted their access to insight life to look like. So their stakeholders, they didn't want them to have to go and ask for a brief. They wanted to be able to just get the information when they needed it. So they wanted something that was ongoing. They also wanted the output that was almost like a sort of, to give them a GPS, if you like, for insight, so that they could get them in the subjects they wanted when they wanted. And also to have a menu of opportunities. There are different kinds of PCs. PC journeys are becoming more complex. The consumer is becoming more complex, more fragmented. So if you're looking for a PC for gaming, or PC for home business, or a PC for creativity, your journey will be different on each of those situations. So they wanted to be able to go to it depending upon whether they were creating journeys for gamers or different consumers. And then finally, they wanted to be able to obviously use the insights to impact growth. So the process, again, we actually work with Synthesio as our starting point to go out onto the internet to look at people who are currently searching for consumers, and people who had recently purchased, computers, and people who are looking for computers. And we found very quickly 750,000 responses. So you think, well, that's not really going to cure infobesity, that's probably creating more. But the next step was actually to apply the artificial intelligence to those responses, clean them up, and come up with some themes. And again, as Loic was saying, this is where you need human intelligence to add to that, to look at where some of those key themes are emerging and applying that to the consumer journeys that obviously they were looking to understand more about. So in a couple of weeks we've identified 8 journeys and then again put those onto the Insight Cloud so that they were able to access them as and when they needed. Now the journeys themselves were great, but they needed to be enhanced with the other information from other sources that they already had, whether that was brand metrics or whether that was other segmentation work. So that's where the curation came in again to add other information to that. So here we have a nice menu of, if you want to find out about your consumer journey for home or for PCs for home or PCs for home business, click on here and the insights will be there all summarised. And in addition, when you go into each of the insights, there's more information there. So, for example, if you want to know about PCs for gamers, there are some of the videos that, or films or ads that they may actually be looking for. There's other information that fills more about what that is like for that PC gamer and the key decisions that they make on that journey. So I'm going to just close, well, not quite close yet, with the combination between human intelligence and artificial intelligence is absolutely key. So the artificial intelligence gives you the volume, it gives you the patterns, and it gives you the behaviour. But the human intelligence enables you to ask questions of that data. It enables you to connect that data with the business question and shape it into something that the client can actually make decisions on. So finally, from the Director of Global Insights from Intel, our client, she said, data is not magic. You need to know how to connect and bring it to life. You need an agile system that helps us make real-time decisions. And with AI, and AI with human curation makes a great combination to deliver. Thank you very much.